Hello again and welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're having a magical day. Thank you for taking the time to support the channel. My name is Hello Good Game and I am pleased to be your host within this Magic the Gathering Arena deck guide video. A new free-to-play deck, 0 rares, 0 mythics, consisting solely of common and uncommon cards, which is fantastic. We have a new set just released, which is great, allowing you now to experience a lot of the new cards and mechanics without having to sacrifice your wild cards, while we kind of feel out the meta and determine what the best decks and cards will be, so you're not wasting them, right? Thanks again. I hope you guys enjoy. Today we're going to be playing Izzet Artifacts, a blue and red tempo-based deck. We do have some control elements mixed in with our aggro-based deck. We're going to break down and discuss the strategies and synergies within the deck list, giving you a deeper understanding how to pilot that deck effectively and efficiently. Furthermore, we're going to demonstrate this within our gameplay footage, which is great. And wrapping up with our final thoughts, deck review, channel news, and upgrade guide for those of you who are absolutely in love with the build and may already possess some of these mythic and rare cards that can go in the build. Okay, cheers, thanks again, and let's take a look at the deck.
It's a new lap record!
Here we are with our Izzet, which is the guild name, of course, for blue and red. Free to play, which I consider to be a common and uncommon based deck, also known as Artisan. If you're playing a format, just like we're playing Standard, Artisan is a format in which you are only allowed to legally play commons and uncommons, okay? Furthermore, it is a tempo-based deck where we're looking to attack our opponents turn after turn and race them down from 20 to 0 while upsetting our opponent's play lines, right? With some removal, with some counter spells, some bounce effects as well, which is quite nice. So this is it. Standard 60 cards, 1.8 average mana value. We have 22 land to support that ladder curve, right? We don't really need to run 24 here. A perfect balance within 19 and 19 non-creatures to creatures, which is great. And then building around some new cards in the set, which is, the absolute core of the deck. Gleaming Geardrake, 2 mana, 1/1, an artifact creature with flying. And when it enters the battlefield, investigate. That's the creation of a clue token that you can pay to sacrifice, drawing a card. Okay, and whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on the Geardrake. Okay, which is great because of the evasion that it possesses via the flying. Crime Novelist for 3 is another new card that we're building around. A 1/3, and whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on the Crime Novelist and add 1 red source of mana to your pool, which we can spend, to do something else and continue that chain along, which is pretty cool, right? So sacrificing artifacts is going to be a big part of the deck. First and foremost, we can do that with the Smelter for 2 mana, a 2/2, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1 to sacrifice an artifact. If you do, create a 3/1 red construct with haste. It is also an artifact, which is great, and can apply a fair amount of damage, right? So not only when we sacrifice an artifact will we be pushing up the Drake and the Novelist and potentially generating mana, but we can also, now attack with a 3/1, which is great. The haste is really cool as well. Some of the artifacts that we're going to be sacrificing, the clue token from the Geardrake, the map token from the Siren, the blood token from the Epicure, right? So plenty of artifacts there that are generated from our creature base. We'll also be utilizing a couple copies of the Experimental Synthesizer. When it enters the battlefield as an artifact, exile the top card of your deck. You can play it till end of turn. And when it leaves the battlefield, that same effect triggers, which is quite nice. Furthermore, you can self-sacrifice it to create a 2/2 for 3. Of course, we can sacrifice it with the Smelter, with the Surge as well, to trigger it without having to pay for it, which is quite nice. Okay, moving forward, the Siren is a 1/1, which is nice. We already talked about the map token. The Epicure is a 1/1 that deals 1 damage. when it enters, and again, the blood token, which we've discussed now. The map token, when sacrificed manually, will look at the top card of library. If it's a land in hand, non-land stays there. Apply a +1/+1 creature to the exploring creature. The blood token is a discard from hand and draw if you manually sacrifice it, which is quite nice. And then also sacrificing through demand answers for 2 mana. Instant speed is an additional cost. Sacrifice an artifact or discard a card, which is pretty cool that we get to decide. Draw 2 cards, right? Very, very good. The glyph in deck as well, enchanting an artifact that we control. It becomes a 5/4, right? And when the glyph is put to the graveyard, we discover 3. So, you know, we do have, like I said, the map tokens, the blood tokens, the clue tokens. The Drake is also a 1/1, which we would up convert. The tokens, not the tokens, sorry, the +1/+1 counters will remain. So this can hit for like 9 damage or something. It's pretty brutal once it does get powered up and already has some counters there, which is quite nice. Of course, you know, you can put it on whatever as well. Even sometimes I'll put it on the synthesizer. Honestly, it is what it is. And then, you know, back to kind of like the interaction that we have in the deck. A lot of this is, you know, our aggro-based elements, our value generation, right? We do have the Surge, which we've discussed, 2 damage to creature or planeswalker at instant speed, 4 damage if we sacrifice an artifact, which, you know, is kind of the name of the game here. With the Geardrake and the Novelist, we can push it up and cast another for free. Machine over Matter, instant speed, 1 less. So typically 2 mana, but we can cast it for 1 if we do control an artifact creature, which normally we do, which is great to return non-land permanent to its owner's hand, right? Very, very good to gain tempo, and then maintain that tempo with a Disruption Protocol for 2 instant speed. It's an additional pay 1 or tap an artifact. Very easy for us to counter that spell, which is great. Any spell, which is pretty cool too. The land is easy peasy with some cliffs, you know, gaining life, mana consistency, as well as the Volcano and the Cataract. Discovering. It is what it is. It's not terrible. I mean, it could potentially grab you a glyph, and that goes on an artifact, and now you for lethal, right? So, you know, it's there, and it does add additional value. So, you know, worth discussing. And then some basics to make sure that, you know, obviously we're able to curve out successfully. Very simple deck that is actually winning, which I love. It's one of my deepest pleasures, my guilty pleasures, to beat some of these other decks that are using just like rare after rare after rare, which is, I know, a little bit weird because that's what I typically do day to day, is just play these, you know, crazy decks. But, you know, it's like a different game almost. And I wish that we had an artisan queue, a full-time artisan queue. I bet it would be busy, right? Where you could still farm gold against other artisan decks at the same power level, right? So it's still fair, you know, but you have left the aggressive meta environment behind. Now it's a little bit easier for a beginner to start farming gold and cards, whereas, you know, they're not competing against those crazy decks, right? I'm sure you understand. But we do strike a nice balance here. We're beating lots of good decks, which is impressive as well. So doing our best to facilitate some W's for you. I hope you enjoy. Let's go. Going first on 2 land, which is fine, or we have draw in hand, where is if we didn't, maybe it wouldn't beat, right? The synthesizer potentially could be an excuse to keep the hand as well. Training grounds, oh my lord. I'm nervous. Swang for 1, hold up. Well, it's blue, could be counter magic. I'm not doing anything, I'm just gonna take it now. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to keep the artifacts and maybe just discard for now, but we don't have, you know, even the Drake or the Goblin in hand, right? Our sacrifice there. Oh, of course, of course. Well, they're going right for it, eh? I see you. We should probably do some bouncing. Right, some bounce-adelphia soon. Are they playing with the Cauldron as well? Right, like what's going on, Willis? We've played a land. I'm not going to throw down the synth. We'll attack for 1. There'll be no block. We're better off to start our turn with it, right? And then, you know, play the land that it draws. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, so these are just bouncing that to eternity. Okay. Let's see where we land. No land! But this is actually pretty cool too, right? So, it has Summoning Sickness, though. So I'm actually going to do this. So we can attack, right? I want to apply pressure. We probably get the block. No block. Okay. Down to ton. I like to glyph the synth. I think that's pretty cool. But this is fine. Again, just maybe looking for another blue source. Conniving. I just gotta make sure they don't hit their combo. It's a lot of draw discard. Big time. They're conniving for free. So all these exiled cards get reset, so they're going to lose the draw and discard. This connive is going to stay there, though, until we kill it. We do get our second blue. Which is great. They are tapped out. Nah, I'm just going to do it now. I was thinking maybe play the Crime Novelist and generate that mana, but... Okay. We do want this, though. This can activate immediately, which is a bit of a bummer. We could also bounce to this. Get in the air. Not as much, though. This is no longer an artifact either, which is kind of bad for us. So it's either a 3-mana disruption. Don't care. We're still okay. Right, it's just the Omen Hawker. Which I don't think is terrible. Paying 2 to transform it. I don't think it can transform. Just saying. It doesn't have the backside to it. It only has the ability to transform, not the backside to transform to. Just saying. They should know that. This doesn't have flash. In the air. Not enough. Hey, that will help though. I like that. Just take the grifter, right? Cancel. This is not an artifact anymore. I guess I'll just take lethal. Because I don't think they can... sack that for life. I don't think they have that mana. Activate abilities. Oh, they could. They definitely could. See if they do. They're going to connive with it instead. I don't mind. Maybe they have a bounce spell or something. Should be good. I think it's good. Except for 7. They're going to phase it out, hey? That's interesting. I mean, we do have the blocker. I think we immediately want to dunk on this, do we not? I may self-sack this with the draw. Then we get to discover. We also get to draw. Let's see what this turn brings. We have them down to 1. Oh, we lose that. We lose it all. But we do get our discover now, which is interesting. And it's not a terrible card, considering where we are in the match. They should be playing Brute for life. I don't know. Or at least discarding it and then anviling it. I don't know. Uh-oh. We might be in trouble. Uh-oh. What are you doing over there, Willis? I mean, we do have 2 blockers. Good game. That had a lot of abilities. Oh my gosh. Mulligan. I'll keep it. It's a little slow and one of our smelters can go. That opens up maybe a faster curve potentially. Oh, because I don't really want to play this until we can sack something almost. Like I feel like it's just gonna die. does help us play a little faster. Maybe we could use this as removal bait. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 mana to make that work nicely. Ooh, they're not taking it. They're like, I'm just going to kill you. I have life gain. Well, that's impressive. Maybe field wipe is the problem. Get our Geardrake up a little bit. It's probably not enough, but we do get to hit for 5, which is substantial. Removal bait acts as needed. Oh, don't you. Don't you. What's better than a field wipe? Right, we got 2 cards out of their hand. Crime Novelist in play. Our best card. They're not killing it. They're like, I'm killing you, and then I'm killing the creatures. Think of your mind, homie. A Swift Spare? That's actually a Monastery Mentor HCG. Similar, though. Okay. Let's get after it. Sacking our artifact. Novelist goes up, generates mana. Grabs the land. Nice. Now, do we want to continue doing that? Or we hedge for next turn? Hedge, hedge, Hedgeadelphia. And there's no way they block that. So we just take our damage. Okay, 2 cards in hand. Next turn is pretty good for us, I think. Oof. Well, not as good now. That's great. Nice play. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Land. I don't think we're going to be discarding with a blood token here. We can still play it later, but... Do I push this to 6? Well, it's going to go to 6 itself. Let's keep trying this so we can get through on the Mentor. Yeah, that's great. That's great, actually. We'll play this for our mana. We go get him. We go get him, baby. They probably block with the token. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Down to 4. Remember, that token is prowess. This is a top deck as well. We should get it. Yes. I mean, it's substantial, but it's not, you know, lightning helix, especially when we're gonna go bop, 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 bop. Sack the blood. Grab the mana. Discover. I guess I'll land off the top. New. We bash Adelphia. They need to block the 5/7. We still hit for 4. Good game. Going first, keeping 7. Pretty cool hand. I certainly enjoy. I like the flyers. You know, they're cool. Just immediately glyph the Drake or go wide. I guess that depends on like what we're playing against, right? You know, are we scared of field wipes or, you know, like a mono green deck? Mono green, mono red, you know, things like this. Mono black, I'm not too nervous about. Except for the removal sucks. I might go wide for now. Because that single target removal is just terrible to go 1 for, you know, it's... I play a card, they remove it, and they attack. It's just, you know. Philadelphia, interesting. That's kind of cool. Maybe not so much. This would be a good block, I guess. I don't really use the Voldaren for anything else. I need a land. A great card, but without the land, who cares? And I'm just going to take this. It's all not great to do before the Drake and stuff, but sometimes you need to win. Right? Gold fishing is cool, and sometimes you can pop off, but other times this is maybe a little bit more important, right? No removal, so I'm going to actually test the Drake here. Forge is good for us. Pretty slow, considering how fast we are. Lose us to the Forge later. No. Like, we could even bounce it, right? So, this is good. This is where we want to be. This is where we want to be. Sack the blood. Push up the dirk. Hit for enough. Enough is a number. It's like almost lethal. Basically. Let's go! Keeping 7. Obviously. Obviously. Land of both colors? Wow. Drake, just get right to it? Yeah, maybe. Oh, right. I think maybe we just find the land this way. Do not mind. Well, actually, now that I see what we're facing off against, maybe I'll dunk Adelphia. I like them both. Submit 0. We'll wait until we get like the Novelist out, right? Let's hit. Map token for a draw and bounce spell next turn. Or if we get a land, maybe we go right into the Novelist. Companion. Okay, that's kind of like a free turn, right? It is a land. Let's draw first. Draw 2 cards? Or draw 1 card? I'm going to draw 2 here. Oh, yeah. I think the map token. No land. So I'm kind of glad we did that. Right? It gets us a little bit further through our deck, a little bit faster. Hit for 3. Very much looking for the next land still. We can bounce Haunting. I was just thinking of that. That's great. Give me that 4th land though, Daddy. Thank you. Right? That's why you ask. Hey, thank you for the raid. I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome. Just filming. I'm going to bounce this immediately. Bounce, bounce, bounce Adelphia. Let's smack for 3 to 13. Summoning Stigmas off the Crime Novelist next turn. Hopefully they only just have a single cast within the Haunting again. I would assume. Uh-oh. Nice. That's pretty good. Life gain, right? And, like, infinite creatures. We'll save this. We'll generate mana. So we might use that blood token instant speed, right? For spending 1, sacking first this, and then generating mana, which we can then blood token this other smelter away. And that's going to push up the Drake again, as well as the Novelist. More mana we won't use, though. And, never give up, never surrender. Let's just smash Adelphia. The companion blocks the 3/1. 5, it goes through unblocked. The 3/5 is fairly formidable on the ground. I could see the companion blocking the Samurai. Let's play that land. Down to 1. This is as close as it gets, right? This should be a shock or something. A little Bop Adelphia. Ooh. Good cards, good cards. 3 in hand. As long as they don't get flying on their enchantments, ×2. Or super power up the naturalists with Michiko. Oh. They do take our flyer. Sad, 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 sad. What's this last card? Good, I think. Yup. Sorcery speed. What a bummer. What's that last card? Is this lethal? Is this lethal? I don't know. If we attack in, they're blocking and they're going to gain some life. But it looks like they've let us know. We don't have to figure it out. Alright, a little slow, but you know, it's not like it's a worthless hand or anything. Mulligan! Much better. Still have good land, and look at these Drakes. Dougie keeping 6. What do we toss? You're like a later card, and I don't have 2 blue lands, so you done? Oh, let me get rid of that. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Siren out. Drake out on 2, Drake out on 3 with a sacrifice of the map. 4 is a synth. Should be good. Swing first. Main phase of Delphia. On our second, the Drake comes in. We do also make a clue token, so now we have 1 map, 1 clue. This is a good deck. Oh. Returning a land? I guess. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. This is a thick deck. 120. Or whatever, I don't know. Definitely more than 60. So let's see how that works. LOL. Here's another Drake. Thank you very much. And I will push up the Siren. Pushing up both Drakes as well. The bounce spell can go. I already have one. Right, I'd rather a land. Hit for 4. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. They are self-milling. Nice. Spelunkadelphia. This is a pretty cool way to gain life. If it's a cave, it is not a cave. So we get lucky. You get that 1 life though. And then this is also not a cave. But they do get the scry. Land on top. Which is cool. Let's synth out. See what we get. Surge Adelphia. Meh. Let's draw. See what we get. Could be an untapped land. Do we want that or should we save it? It's only a mind over matter that's activated. Now, how important is that to us? Not overly. Let's save it. Bro, come on. I'm commentating my playlines. Settle down. Do you think they have a field wipe? That's why they're being so aggressive. Don't you? Absolutely. What do you think it is? Oh, I mean, that's pretty cool. There's a lot of land in their grave, which is a thing. They're going right for it, too. Okay. It's a lot of life gain here, also. Each one of these is 1 life. Substantial. And they come in untapped because splunking. Which maybe we should have bounced, but what do you do? In your own time, son. My dearest child. 3 cards in hand. They also have unlimited land, not only through their mana base, but also now potentially through this Virtue of Strength. What would they use it all on? A 200 Goose? Gooseadelphia. Ward pay 3 life, great. Yes. 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 I guess. Yes. That's a big hit. All right. 3 cards in hand. Field wipe would dominate us, though, still, right? But we did get close. We did get close. We've got counter magic in the deck, just unable to find it. Two in hand. I don't even want to know. Uh-oh. Okay. And then the rest of their mana is now tripled, which is outrageous. I don't... Okay. That's good, not bad. One blocker, at least. Oh? Seems like a weird playline. So they must have a field wipe? Angel out. Have they gained 5 life? They did gain a lot of life last turn. Great game. All right, on the draw, 3 land. Good to go. I think. What are you? Sanctum of Nature? Mill make a bear? Yeah. Slime against humanity. Nice. Oh my gosh. We were in trouble. Oh, you think? I do. Except for 1. They're tapped out. We can just first main phase it in. That's a big boy. Drake's our only hope. That second blue source is important. Oops. Slimes might murder us. They're no joke. It was kind of cool to see because this is like another good free-to-play deck you can run. No blockage. Get dunked on, probably. Of course I have another. Yeah, dang. We have bounce spells. Now we have counter magic up, which is good. I can't cast my Novelist until next turn, which sucks. I need 2 mana, which leaves us 2. So I'm going to play this. Sack of blood. Toss a land. I think we're just holding up to counterspell, right? We could push up more with the Drake, but they're going to definitely win this race too. So I need to counter what's next to gain any sort of tempo. We kind of have a little bit of advantage with our damage output here because we kind of started first, but they might cast multiples, right? It's a big hit. 9 damage. Down to 8. What would that permanent card be? Four mana spell, don't care. Take the damage, no block. Okay. Sack, right? This one costs more to do. All right, the blood token's a little cheaper. Okay. So the glyph is great here. Hopefully they just don't have interaction. Do they? Destroy target creature with flying. How bad do we need to hold this? 1, 2, 3, 7. This would work as well. But then we're not attacking with it. I don't have an artifact to tap. I think they have something, right? They're going to hit for lethal either way, so we may as well go for it. All right. I guess we're good. Nice, 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 nice. Alrighty then. I guess the deck is alright. Not bad. Geardrake, actually good. For 2 mana, it's impressive. A 1/1, not great, but the fact that it makes its own artifact to sacrifice is really good. And the Crime Novelist is just goofy. I'm sure this could be used in all sorts of combo decks. Very much looking forward to that. However, here, it's just... you know, a decent attacker. If we can stack treasures early on, we can dump them in, which is nice. Absolutely loving it. So the upgrade guide, what you're all here for, you're probably going to be disappointed, but at the end of the day, I make these free-to-play decks so you're not spending your mythics. You're not spending your wilds. You're saving them. You're still completing your quests, farming gold. Yes. Okay. However, if you do have some of these cards, like the Helm, I think that goes in great. It is a sacrifice trigger when it deals combat damage. You can put it on a flyer. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. Looking at you, Spyglass Siren. And, you know, we do discard our hand and then draw 3 cards. Reconfigure for 3 to re-equip it to something else potentially as well, which is pretty cool. So, you know, I don't mind it. The sacrifice trigger is also great for the Geardrake and the Novelist. The Gadgeter, a 2/3 with flying for 3. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, investigate. You know, we do have some artifacts in deck. The Drake, the Synthesizer, right? Not a ton, but they are here. And that would allow us to investigate for more clues. But really why we like it is the activated abilities of artifacts we control cost 1 less to activate, right? So now we are reducing the clues down to 1, right? Which is quite nice. As it is here with the Geardrake. And, of course, we have the land, which is not bad if you want to spend your wilds on that. That's going to be okay. This will also reduce the reconfigure as well. They kind of work nicely together. The Restless Spire, the Reef, the Murex, alongside the City and the Defiance, all lands that you can actually spend your wilds on. You don't have to worry about these. Get them in your collection. They're worthwhile. However, you know, the Helm and the Gadgeter do work nice within the deck. I think they're not terrible. You know, it's maybe not a necessity for us, right? Want to remind everyone that I do make these free-to-play decks to be free-to-play, not to be upgraded. Right? If you have a card of your own that you'd like to put in, by all means, you know, experiment, have some fun. However, I don't want you spending your rares. I don't want you spending your mythics on cards like the Helm or the Gadgeter. Keep in mind, if they're already in your collection, fine. The land you can spend on. If not, I don't recommend it, right? Save those rares, save those mythics for the meta decks. I know how hard they are to get. You know, I play this game every day, and I have 1 mythic rare. Okay? So, enjoy the deck, use it to complete your quests, and have some fun with it. I certainly have been. Thanks for watching. Have a magical day. Like, comment, subscribe, become a community member, join our Discord, link in the description below. Show us your new deck. If you need help as well, we're always there. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.